Huh?
I know my thumbnails are a bit exaggerated, and that's because we can't say anything for sure about an unreleased character, especially characters coming in version 2. This isn't a pull or skip guide, it's a pre-farm guide for those interested in pulling for Fugue. Right now, Fugue is basically an option for people who don't have Ruan May, or who want to use Ruan May in a second team. She can also be used with Ruan May in place of Harmony MC. The developers might buff her, especially her ultimate, in future versions, since her ultimate is, in my opinion, not very good. I'll keep updating you guys about her kit changes in the pinned comment. People like me are going to pull for Fugue, regardless of her meta value, because if you love a character, that's more than enough reason to pull for them. I still don't regret pulling for Jingliu instead of Topaz, so you should pull for whichever character you like. Let's get started. These are the materials you'll need for her Ascension, and these are the total materials required to fully max out Fugue. Now, I'll quickly go over her kit. Fugue is going to be a Fire Nihility character. She will play a support role for your break teams. She can use enhanced basic attacks that deal blast damage. Her skill performs 3 main functions. It grants an enhanced basic attack for 3 turns, it increases break effect for the chosen ally, and it reduces enemies' defense by 18% every time the chosen ally attacks. This effect will last for 2 turns. Her ultimate will deal fire damage while ignoring enemy weaknesses, and it will trigger fire break when breaking enemies. Her talent is very powerful. Basically, when Fugue is on the field, enemies have exo toughness equal to 50% of their original toughness. Broken enemies take 100% super break damage. Her technique advances her action by 40% and inflicts the skill's defense down effect on enemies. Her traces mainly focus on providing break effect to the team, and they contain effect hit rate, break effect, and HP. Her trace level up priority would be skill, talent, ultimate, and lastly basic attack. Her first Eidolon is very good, and you should pull for it if you can. It increases the break efficiency of the ally under her skill's effect by 50%. Her best light cone would, obviously, be her signature light cone. It will increase her break damage and enable her to inflict a debuff on enemies. It increases the wearer's break effect by 60%. When an enemy's weakness is broken, there is a 100% base chance to inflict the charring state on it, which increases its break damage taken by 20% for 2 turns. This effect can stack 2 times. Resolution is a great free-to-play light cone option for Fugue, as it focuses on defense reduction. When the wearer hits an enemy, if the enemy isn't already ensnared, there's a 60% base chance to ensnare the target, decreasing their defense by 12% for 1 turn. Tutorial Mission is another solid alternative light cone, focusing on effect hit rate and energy regeneration. It increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 20%. When the wearer attacks a defense-reduced enemy, it regenerates 4 energy. Fermata is another free-to-play option for Fugue, which increases the wearer's break effect by 16% and boosts their damage to enemies afflicted with shock or wind shear by 16%. This also applies to DOT. For main stats, you should focus on getting an effect hit rate body, speed boots, an HP orb, and an energy regeneration rope. For substats, aim for break effect, speed, HP, or defense. Keep in mind that you can make certain variations. For example, if you're using an effect hit rate light cone or effect hit rate substats, you can use an HP body or defense body instead. You can use a break effect rope to provide more break damage, but an energy regeneration rope will be more helpful for charging her ultimate, as it has an energy cost of 150. Her best relic set would be the Iron Cavalry set, which is obviously the best set for units focused on break effect. Its 2-piece effect increases break effect by 16%. The 4-piece set states that if the wearer's break effect is 150% or higher, the break damage dealt to the enemy target ignores 10% of their defense. If the wearer's break effect is 250% or higher, the super break damage dealt to the enemy target additionally ignores 15% of their defense. You can use the Thief of Shooting Meteors set if you don't want to farm the Iron Cavalry set for support, or if you already have good stats on this set. Its 2-piece effect increases break effect by 16%. The 4-piece effect further increases the wearer's break effect by 16% and regenerates 3 energy after the wearer inflicts weakness break on an enemy. The Watchmaker's set is another option for Fugue. Its 2-piece effect increases break effect by 16%. The 4-piece effect states that when the wearer uses their ultimate on an ally, all allies' break effect increases by 30% for 2 turns. Lightcones. This effect cannot be stacked. Now let's talk about the ornament sets you can use on Fugue. Forge will be the best option if you are using Firefly with her, as she inflicts fire weakness on enemies. Its two-piece effect increases the wearer's speed by 6%. When the wearer hits an enemy target with fire weakness, the wearer's break effect increases by 40% for one turn. Alternatively, you can use the Talia set, which can provide a substantial break effect boost. Its two-piece effect increases the wearer's break effect by 16%. When the wearer's speed reaches 145 or higher, their break effect increases by an additional 20%. The sprightly set can also serve as a temporary option if you don't have the ornaments mentioned previously. Its two-piece effect increases the wearer's energy regeneration rate by 5%. When the wearer's speed reaches 120 or higher, their action is advanced forward by 40% immediately upon entering battle. As we know, she is going to be a good support for break teams. For example, you can pair Firefly, Ruan May, Fugue, and Lingsha. You can replace Firefly with Boothill or Rappa, Ruan May with Harmony MC, and Lingsha with Gallagher. You can also create a free-to-play team with her. Use Hunt March 7th or Sushang as your free-to-play damage dealer. You can also include her in a Doe team if you want to. Try a lineup with Kafka, Black Swan, Fugue, and Hua Hua. You can replace Kafka and Black Swan with Sampo and Gunnifin, and replace Hua Hua with Lynx to make it a more free-to-play friendly team. That's it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next pre-farm guide. Peace out.